Hey, everybody. Welcome to Schoolboy Rollup, episode 0, the wrestling podcast you didn't know you needed. And I'm so happy that we're going to try this and see how it goes. I'm Nick Morello. I'm here with two people I've known a really long time who also have a love for wrestling that we're going to discuss this and many other things, I hope, as we go through our show today. So, myself, I have been into this stuff for a pretty long time. Took a nice long break, but I'm back in over the past year and a half where the business has been as hot as it could possibly be, and it is so much fun to be a fan again. But let's let everybody else introduce themselves too.
I think if you're grown up and you're not watching wrestling, I don't know what it is that you're actually doing with your life. So what's up, everybody? I'm Greg. I've been watching wrestling since I was a little kid and fell in love with it, I would say, around the Attitude Era. I think Rob and I started talking about it back in like 9th grade math, and I've been watching ever since. I know a ton about it, but I feel like my delivery is always pretty casual, so here we go.
I'm Rob Rennick. I've been, like Nick said, I've known these guys for a real long time, and we have a lot of fun together, but we also always talk about wrestling. We always, during the pay-per-views, we've watched a million pay-per-views together, so
we just talk about wrestling.
We thought, why not? Pretty much.
I have no
There's
idea
like very few other things,
life.
But
or professional life.
No. Do you even remember where I live? Nah. But yeah, we've watched so many pay-per-views together, and we end up talking about it anyway. And I still remember. I think you said 9th grade. I think 9th grade was right. That's when I came in. I watched it as a little kid, but I was out until 9th grade.
I was going to say, I think the background was we went to class together, and there was going to be, what was that, WWF Warzone was coming out around that time, and we were all like buzzing about it. Like, this is going to be the best game ever. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it might not have been the best game.
Yeah,
but I remember we were selling it hard, and I think that's how you got into it.
We were. It was. You're right. And then I became a fan of the NWO and all. I still like WWE better, but I always was an NWO guy, which you've always made fun of me for.
I think you're still an NWO guy.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this. I am. I still low key wish that somehow they would come back some way.
I got that.
New iteration of the NWO. Yeah, give me it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think, next thing would be why we're doing the show. I think it's just, this is a great time to be involved in some capacity, even tangentially, in what's going on. I can't imagine it coming down at this level of popularity that we're seeing right now. And that's why I think we feel like this is the right time for us to try something like this. And I mean, also, you just get to a point in your life where you don't have a reason to see your friends, and this is almost an excuse for us to do that. Yeah, I feel. And
I think we've talked about just the idea of like, it gives us a reason to get together, talk about wrestling, because we love hanging out and talking about it anyway.
For sure.
So why not schedule it in? And I think also our approach, like, we're big fans, but I think this is the second time I'm using that term. We're casual enough about it that we represent, I think, more of an everyday viewer, if you will, rather than just, deep internet.
For sure. My hope is that some guy or a girl, whoever, are listening to Spotify and they come across this podcast, be like, man, I used to really be into wrestling. And I like the way these guys talk about it. They're not wrestling nerds. I mean, we are. But I think, like you said, casual enough about it where I think we could...
But we would welcome.
I think people would like listening to it.
Boy or girl, right, Rob? Boy or girl.
Yeah.
All right. We're all inclusive.
That's right.
It's just so easy to tip over the edge, right? You can become an expert and know every little backstory and dirt sheet BS.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets thrown at you. It's like, oh, well, you're watching some wrestling stuff. Well, now it's in your algorithm. You need to see every story. And then,
Yeah.
you before you know it, you have opinions forced on you that are just unnecessary.
Right.
The best thing is when wrestling is funny.
Yes.
Right. And then like the second best thing is when the actual wrestling is good.
Yes. Well, that's
Right.
like, this is like, I think a lot in the beginning, this is going to be a lot like the old Wrestle Crap website, and we'll be hard into it, and
I mean,
eventually maybe we'll progress out of that. But Wrestle Crap was one of the best things ever.
I think we've mastered
And
it already. I mean, this is
I
the
love
best
that
we're
website.
ever going to do. Is these
Yeah, I
few
think
minutes right here.
this is easily. Nick, if I'm correct, I might be wrong. I feel like you came back into wrestling recently when you saw Christian in AEW again, right? Is that
I mean, that was part of it, but
Really?
I feel like I got Peacock. This is actually it. I got Peacock because my wife wanted to watch like Vanderpump Rules, and then I was like, oh man, like, what's up with this Backlash pay-per-view? So the Backlash,
yeah?
where Damian Priest and Bad Buddy, and then it was like, yo, this is insane.
Oh, that was
This is
that
awesome.
was a
was
great
great.
pay per view. That
And
was the
then
one
so
where
that's
they
when
were
I
doing the
started
Bad
kind
Bunny
of
match in
my
Puerto
toe
Rico.
back in.
Right?
'Cause think about like we used to watch pay-per-views. We all had to chip in
Yep.
$5 for the pizza and the soda and the pay-per-view. And now I just like I wasn't around for the WWE network. So like the fact that I'm getting a pay-per-view, which in my mind is $60, and I can just
Yeah.
watch it on
And you
Peacock, I'm
just
like,
watch
the
it.
value here is insane. I must consume this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes,
and
it's
then
accurate.
a couple months later, we're out at a 4th of July barbecue. And we do that, then we're at somebody's house, and Greg's like, let's go back to my house and watch Money in the Bank. He's
I
like,
remember this.
Just come
Yeah.
watch Money in the Bank. And
I was down the
Yeah, we
shore.
were at
I remember you
yeah,
guys watching it. I
it
was down
was-
the shore that week.
the match was amazing. I'm like, who's this LA Knight guy? Everybody's going insane. I'm like, I
Yes.
didn't know anybody cared that much anymore.
Yes.
That match was great. I mean, there's just funny moments in it, and it was also, and then from there, I was just like obsessed with LA Knight for a little while, just like trying to see like when is this guy gonna hit it big, and that carried me through into just now I'm just watching everything.
Yeah.
Like,
LA Knight was awesome. He was a good throwback, to get you. I shouldn't say he
yes,
was awesome.
it was,
He's
yeah,
still awesome,
it was
but
because I don't know, it felt like he was the guy for a little while, so I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
and
cool.
everyone
This is
talks
like
about
how it
LA
used to
Knight
be.
being a little bit of a mix
And
of
then it
like
just got
Austin
crazy.
and
That
The
was
Rock.
amazing.
So
for sure.
Yeah, and then we fed into the greatest WrestleMania ever. Then the same year, the 6 months later, right? 8 months later, whatever. We're all at my place watching.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest, like, absolute, like, fan service payoff
Yeah, that
of
was.
the past 20-something years
Yeah.
is handed to us, and it's so good. And I don't even know if it needs to ever be top. They'll try. They have to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the perfect time to just for us to get back, and that's me. And then I'm now just consuming as much as I can on YouTube and stuff. I don't dabble in some other podcasts and stuff, and I'll see some of those posted pushed with spoilers and news and things, but that's usually where I draw the line. Very happy with the stuff on Netflix though. Now I get them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like the Netflix stuff too.
Oh God, you can just watch it whenever, and it's like on to just fast forward through like as soon as it's over. All right, it's over. You don't have to watch the commercials anymore if you don't want.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we're moving on to. We want to talk about.
I think we should do
what's
it.
actually going on currently, like the main storylines that are in. We didn't say this, but obviously this is going to be mostly WWE focused. I mean, it's just the better product at the moment. I remember Greg telling me a little bit about AEW a few years ago when it was good, and man, it seemed fun and interesting.
Yeah,
but
no, I
just in a
think
different place right
AEW.
now.
Yeah,
It's in a creative slump right now. I mean, they have it. they signed a deal. They did well recently with, I guess, the gate in Australia, as far as just how the ratings did as well following the NBA lead-in. But the product right now, the storylines, I wouldn't say are compelling enough. It's not to say that everything's bad about it. I mean, I think Ricochet's doing fine work as a heel. I like that. I think Swerve Strickland's come up. We've talked about that before, Rob. But overall, I just don't. It feels a little bit slapped together. Whereas I don't see where are the payoffs to the story. Like John Moxley, he kind of keeps talking around things. I don't know where it goes. I don't know who is being positioned as the one to eventually dethrone him.
I don't get the whole Death Rider stuff either. Like I
Well,
don't
there
know.
used to be Blackpool
Doesn't
Combat
like
Club,
I don't. I feel like they're.
but now they're
I know that, and like they had Brian in there, but like I feel like they're trying so hard to be bad guys, but like don't most people
I was gonna say, yeah,
love
people love
Moxley?
Moxley. I think people
It's
love
just weird to me.
Claudio. People love Wheeler Yuta. Can't get enough of him.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta. I mean, hey,
We should
whatever
get
floats
Wheeler
your boat,
Yuta
I
on for
suppose.
next episode.
We can. I would love that. Hey Wheeler, you want to come on to the second episode of this
We got-
podcast? And the
We got
one
0
guy
followers. It's
just
technically
trashed you.
episode 1.
But we pretend we have.
Hey, it'd be like
hundreds
watching
of
an
thousands.
AEW show.
Yeah. Hey, taking
Wow.
shots with that.
Wow.
Robbie
Just-
getting spicy on
Dang.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm done. We'll leave that alone.
Maybe don't. Maybe that'll be your thing,
Well,
Rob.
yeah,
You
it was
just
like
go
this
at
is going to be
AEW.
WWE focused. I don't know what's going on at AEW, and you guys just dump all this fucking, excuse me, like all this AEW stuff. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know. They screwed up MJF. That's like all I know.
How do you do that? How do you mess him up? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But yeah, I agree, Nick. I think we'll be mostly talking WWE here. And yeah.
And there's plenty to talk about. I mean,
There is.
You know,
We're jumping in at a good time of year.
yeah, this is the best time
Why-
of year.
why
I
would
mean,
this be the
they've
best
started the
of the year?
builds. You have a couple
What's so
of
good about
matches
this time of
already
year?
set.
Just the WrestleMania
I
build.
mean, I guess. I'm more of a Survivor Series kind of guy. No.
Are you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, no one's
Rob,
hyped for
it's
Survivor
I'm
Series.
playing along with the shtick. I wanted him to say it.
You don't need to yes and Greg pretending Survivor Series is better than WrestleMania.
He's always told me how much he loves Survivor.
I love the
Survivor
traditional
Series. Look, it's a
4-on-4
staple.
elimination type
Series.
matchup. What can I say? That's
The best was when they used to do Survivor Series and then Raw versus SmackDown, and like you would just wonder why do the guys care?
especially because like some of
Like,
them
what
just
show
got
wins?
traded there like
Like,
3 months earlier.
Why do they have? Yeah, like why do they have so much pride that they're on Raw or SmackDown? But
I mean, we
Yeah.
did get that cool image where Becky Lynch's nose was just busted
yes, this is
wide
the
open
best time of year.
from like when SmackDown invaded Raw and Nia Jax
Yeah.
was still
Oh.
working unsafely. So she's just like, I'm going to punch you in the face for real.
That's right. Yeah, she's had a couple of those, huh?
Maybe a few. So, I mean, I guess Survivor Series aside, we could look at WrestleMania as being the best season. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I think some people may agree with
It's
that.
fair. It's fair.
Some boys and girls might agree with that, possibly.
A few. Oh man, I'm never gonna hear the end of that. Huh?
It's all
You're
right,
doing
Rob.
great.
You're doing your job.
I'm trying to. I'm
to
trying.
string along the conversation. You're
Trying
like,
to.
oh yeah, you're a Survivor Series guy.
Just try to play along here.
All right, so yeah, look, we know we're gonna talk Jey Uso and the fact that they've already set this match and they have 10 weeks to sell it to us. This is a long time for me on this. I mean, it's cool. It's the obvious choice. The payoff is going to be crazy. The payoff when he won the IC was awesome. I mean, he's guy has been teased to win a title the entire year
And
and just keep
I'm
falling
feeling
short.
already
So
on this that there's. I know I was wrong, and we could tell our thousands of viewers backstory in a moment how wrong I was, but I don't. It doesn't feel to me like this is going to be the right culmination of Jey Uso finally getting the belt. It doesn't. I almost don't think that this is the belt. I think he needs the belt that Cody has. I think he needs the WWE Championship. He can't. The World Heavyweight is still a second place to me. And Jey Uso's storyline, if you like really dig into it, this is going back to fall of 2020. Like he's pretty much at the start of the bloodline with Roman Reigns. There's a few there. He has built himself up so well. He's so over. I just don't know if him beating Gunther is that story. And to go back to how wrong I was on things, I text for Rob and Nick because I was watching Rumble on a delay. I was like, I think he's gonna main event
like well said
WrestleMania, and I was going back and forth, and I settled on WrestleMania 44. So I'm about 3 years out on this. So
you're a couple years off.
yeah,
and you
Rob
guys
and I had already
let that
watched
go.
Rumble.
It aged poorly.
And I was like,
We just let you marinate in that.
yeah, I like spoil the Alexa Bliss thing, and Greg's like, "No, I'm at dinner. Don't say anything." and then he's like, "Jey Uso's going to main event WrestleMania 42." With
I think you're being
Rob, and
polite. I think I went further
wait
out. I think I was
for him
beyond
to like be like
42.
The best part about it though is that the time where you said that till when you actually
I was gonna say,
found out,
I
I don't know, it was
at
like
least,
hours
like,
later,
an hour
and
a
I was
half
just
out from
waiting.
Yeah, I was like, "What's he gonna say?"
Yeah, I was just
Nice.
waiting for the text to be like, "Oh wow, I was
But
so wrong."
I think part of Jay's story to me is that he has to go through so much adversity. He went from basically being like trying to dethrone Roman back in 2020 to realizing he's not at that level. So then what's he have to do? Well, he has to buy into Roman. Goes through the entire bloodline storyline, which is incredible. And he keeps getting close, but I feel this is almost like reminiscent of kind of Cody Rhodes going into like WrestleMania 39, where he's close, but I don't know if I want that storyline payoff just yet. I think I'm still going with 42. I feel like obviously, like I want Jay to be so over when he wins it. I don't want this to be a repeat of like Kofi Mania where Jay has the belt and now it's like, what do we do with Jay?
Do you? So my question to you is, I'm loving this Jey Uso stuff, all right, and I love the entrance. I got to admit, I'm already kind of getting a little, like, it goes on a little too long now sometimes, but it's cool. So I'm not gonna. But like, does he deserve the same kind of like whole thing that Cody got? Where
I
like,
don't
he
think
just
that's the
had to
thing.
win
I
the
just
title?
don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's so over with the fans, but there's something.
Yeah.
To me, there's like an X factor where he's great. You're cheering for him, but I think they're spot on with kind of like he's the mascot, he's the heart, he's got this underdog, he's got the underdog feel.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I don't know if this is the match for him to win right now. I almost feel like he needs to stumble a little bit more and kind of work his way from there. Maybe win it, culminate at Survivor Series. You know, it's all about we're all
right. That's the bigger pay-per-view,
No,
so
but
it should culminate there.
For me, I think I would play the long game a little bit further. I would take it
Premium
out
live event,
to
I should say.
WrestleMania 42 because you already have about 5 years invested, 4.5 years invested in this Jey Uso storyline. When you really look at it from start to finish.
Yeah.
And you remember, Gunther lost at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah,
Dude, I was just
Sami
going to say
Zayn.
that too, Nick.
and
I know it
part
just
of
popped in
that
my
was-
head, right? Like, you're really gonna have this guy, this absolute monster, lose
Right.
again to but he's beat time and time again.
Yep.
So we'll see. That's the other side. Gunther is the other side. He's like an immovable object. Just you expect him to win,
And
kind of want him to
I
win,
think to
which
your
is
point,
crazy.
I don't know if it looks great considering how dominant he is if he loses 2 WrestleManias in a row. Especially to me last year, he lost it. He wasn't supposed to lose it to Sami Zayn. They needed to obviously make some storyline changes, but I don't think Sami was originally penciled in to be Gunther's opponent. And then to lose to Sami Zayn, it was a good story, but it still felt like Gunther, like it felt like a forced loss so that he could move up into the world titles.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. And if they, as rumored or whatever, if it was him and Brock and he got to go over on Brock, it would be
That would have been
crazy.
awesome.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been,
Maybe
yeah,
one
that
day.
would have been
That was
insane, right?
Level.
We still got
Yeah.
some time.
That would have been. Yeah. Now they can still save it. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm into it. I just don't know. They're already selling it like he's going to come in and beat the crap out of him every week for 10 weeks. So,
Yeah, right.
well, last year the builds had so many twists and turns. I wonder, if they laid this out so cleanly already, if it's going to take a turn.
You have to figure at some point Jimmy gets involved too, right? Like how could Roman and Jimmy not be
Are
involved?
you saying
at some
Roman
point?
getting involved in Jay's storyline for heading into Mania?
I don't helping him win something. I don't know, but I feel like that takes away from the babyface aspect of it. But that's all Jey Uso did for Roman was help him win. So like, how does it not reciprocate?
I don't know. I'm trying to play it. I'm trying to play it through in my head.
How does it?
How does this
twin brother not help him?
Roman coming into this
You know,
storyline. I
like
could
how-
absolutely see Jimmy getting pulled into the storyline, just as what they've done more than once. Like, oh no, Jimmy got beat down. Jay has to.
Yeah,
Listen.
I'm looking at that kind of stuff, right?
Let,
Oh my
let
God,
Big Jim
Jimmy got
go.
beat
Why does he always got to
down.
get beat down?
Big Jim. This is such a good character for him. The whole Big Jim thing. Oh God, his brother's doing like once in a lifetime stuff, and he's rolling with Big Jim. It's just like I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Well, let's play that. If we stay
Well, there
with
can
that
only
for
be
a
one.
second,
Only
where
one
would
Beyonce.
Jimmy go? Where's Jimmy come
true.
WrestleMania
It's true.
season? Like, is he in an Andre the Giant Battle Royale situation? Is he in one of these multi-man like ladder matches for an IC or US belt?
It feels a lot like the Hardys when they split, and like Jeff was beating the Undertaker at a PLA, and Matt Hardy was doing like Matt Hardy 3.0 stuff or whatever the hell was going on back then.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
which was like those Andre the Giant Battle Royals, like you were saying, and stuff like that. Not that one specifically, because that's newer, but they always had those weird 40-man matches and whatever.
Sorry, I'm trying to put on a timer app.
I have it. We're at 24 minutes. No worries.
Thank you.
You're
I was
welcome.
like, I wish I had one of these. Okay. My bad. Moving on. Because the next thing was that is going on that's big that they obviously haven't told us about yet, but it's been heavily insinuated is the triple threat with Punk, Roman, and Seth. I mean, this is obviously a main event match. I don't know how it would happen, how it wouldn't be.
Is at this point, I
Um,
have to admit, like Mr. Raw this past week, is it looking like it's going to come back with Punk in there, or is Punk fading away from this feud right now? Is it looking more like we might be seeing a Punk Logan Paul thing?
Well, if they're gonna do that, then there needs to be something at the Elimination Chamber between them, because so far they just have like one interaction on the mic and what went down at the Rumble, right? So, that could be good. I mean, look, they love to give him big plates. Logan Paul gets crazy matches, so
He does.
him getting the fight scene at WrestleMania is like, it wouldn't surprise me, because he just gets the biggest and best matches. They really do.
And I was going to
Get
say
their
Logan
money's
Paul
worth
was the
with
one
him.
to eliminate
You know?
CM Punk, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was.
Kind of a gnarly. It looked gnarly. It looked like he landed like on his ass all the way.
Right.
Like it was.
I mean, I think ideally what happens is we get Logan Paul, CM Punk at WrestleMania, and then you carry it through till about November time, where you get Team CM Punk versus Team Logan Paul.
Team
Survivor Series.
Dude, if they had Logan Paul out there, dude, you just
Keep
nailed
bringing it back,
the
man.
fantasy booking on the Logan Paul like Team YouTube for Survivor Series would go crazy.
That would
Him,
go.
I Speed.
I show Speeds in there getting speared out of his mind.
It's why you need to be there in the back.
Yeah.
That would go crazy.
I don't are you so after the year that Punk has had, are you okay with him not? I mean, personally, I think he should be vying for a title.
Dude, they gave us that him and Seth match for the first Netflix Raw, and that was a masterpiece of a match.
It was amazing.
So wish we could have had that match.
It was actually, that was
kind of
a great match right there.
It was excellent.
Dude, with the match, the trio of matches with Drew were really good. Like, people were, since he got hurt his first match back, people were like, can this guy still wrestle? And that has been like,
that's out the window, man. He's been amazing.
Incredible. Even the match with Sami Zayn the next week on Raw was good too. I mean, there's not been, and everything else we said was like top tier, easily in your top 5 to 10 matches of the year. So,
I mean, the trio he had with Drew were freaking awesome.
They were
like,
all
all
good.
Three of them were awesome.
But like thinking about it,
yeah. So I feel like after this
year,
be
rewarded
he should be...
for sure. But I don't see how the Punk Roman Seth match turns into a title match for Mania, and I also don't see how you could have a match of that caliber. To your point, how is that not going to be a main event? But then also you're going to have a main event that doesn't have a title up for grabs. Just doesn't seem like that goes hand in hand with WrestleMania. It's like, what is it? Is it eventually just like a number one contenders match? I don't know. Like, to me, it seems like
it's just
the whole storyline that they're building, and it seems like Punk is still very much in the mix. I just don't fully get how it fits in. Like, I know Seth and Punk obviously hate each other, and Punk did the favor for Roman. I get that. But I don't see how the match kind of works itself together in an organic fashion. Whereas, like, you're looking at it, Seth and Roman, to me, that's a story that can easily tell or be told for, like, WrestleMania. Because Roman realistically is going to cost Seth that match in the chamber, right? Like,
you would think so.
That would be yes. That makes sense. And it kind of continues the story from last year's Mania a little bit too, right? They tease a little bit, so I think they do like to kind of connect storylines that way. And then that's obviously a amazing undercard.
Like, could
it
go the other way? Whereas I think people are already leaning towards the idea of, like, okay, we've got a match between Cody and Cena at Mania. Could Punk's favor be to be a triple threat in that match? So it's Cody, Cena, Punk.
Favor has to play in some way more than putting him into a three-way with Punk and Roman. I mean, with Seth and Roman, right? I mean,
it seems like
doesn't seem like it's a very big favor.
Either get him a title match or a main event match at Mania, or both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the only way he could get a main event match and a title match right now is to be put into that
So I will
match with
say
Cody and Cena.
on Thursday, February 20th, I'm going to say Punk's not going to be in a triple threat with Roman and Seth. I'll put him in that match with Cody and Cena. That's my guess.
Hopefully,
Listen, I mean, I put a lot of things out there that are aging fine wine.
You got to shoot your shot.
You thought I was going to say poorly, but I went the other way.
No.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, as you've already seen from the creation of Team YouTube for next year's Survivor Series, Greg's fantasy booking is top notch.
It's already
going
great.
to be one of the highlights of the show every week.
Every week.
And we're just dogging on him about being so wrong about Jey Uso at the Rumble, but he's usually got, I mean, as you could just see for the past few minutes, really insightful and good ideas.
Yes.
So, like, generally good enough that when he says them, you're like, I hope
I mean,
that
I think,
happens.
I think
it would
we
be
need
good.
to start
It
looking at
it
other
always is.
roads. Why does it always have to be the road to WrestleMania? Why can't it be the road to Survivor Series
Cody roads?
or the road to Great Balls of Fire, 2017, I believe?
Oh, that was a
We
great
need
one.
that.
That was that a
I believe
Dusty
Dusty was
creation?
already passed by that point. But I think
Was
it
he?
passed a
I
little
don't-
bit earlier, but for
but
some reason they're
he
like,
didn't
you know
make
what,
that
we need to
pay-per-view a
go
long
with
time ago, I'm
pay-per-view
saying.
called Great Balls of Fire, which maybe at some point they'll bring back.
Great Balls
or
of Fire.
AEW
That was
will buy
definitely
the
a
rights
Vince
for it.
McMahon idea.
This is AEW Dynamite Great Ball of
It
Fire
doesn't go
edition,
trademarked by
coming to you May 12th.
yeah. From some small town in
their
West
venues
Texas.
lately are looking crazy. They are just not.
Yeah.
I turned on for a few minutes last night. I'm not going to say I watched the product much, but like they were pretty much performing in a theater last night. Like if I'm in the ring,
That's
my
crazy.
audience was just out in front of me and a little bit to the sides. Nobody really behind me. So
That's like the old NXT studio, right? They used to have like that weird, very small
it's different
setup.
right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in a different direction for 1 second. We keep dogging on AEW. What, from the little knowledge you guys might have on it, or whatever knowledge we have, what do you think is working in AEW? Just one thing that's working in AEW right now. What was that?
Say
The
that again,
women's-
Greg.
What'd you go with, Nick?
I don't know the women's stuff.
Say
I was going to say, I think
The women's stuff, maybe?
Like you can point to and be like, that's working, is Tony Storm at the moment. Her gimmick is incredibly over. Yeah.
timeless.
So,
Yeah, it's a fully fleshed out character in a feud with somebody that they were previously aligned with. Like it's as normal and good of a story
it's a
as
good
they can have
character.
right now.
She plays the character well, so she's got that, and she's got the wrestling to go with it.
If I'm not mistaken, to Nick's point, I think Kenny Omega kind of runs the whole women's side there, doesn't he?
Oh,
Which would make, I think so. Which would that's the reports I've seen. So it would make sense. He always seems like he knows what he's doing.
And I know Kenny Omega's just coming back, and I'm like probably thinking about like or being too impatient with it. But if I'm AEW and I'm in this creative slump that the internet keeps speaking about, that you hear Tony Khan also reads about, why not like just dig into your best performers right now? Like the Death Riders storyline is convoluted. End it soon. Start building something, or build it as Kenny Omega is going to be the one to dethrone. Like you got to put that guy on pedestal still. I'm not going to say he's in prime anymore, but he still has some good years, I'm assuming. Take advantage of it.
He's
take
still a top
advantage
tier
of him
performer
while
no
he's
matter
there.
what.
Like he should be almost on like a Roman Reigns level
Yeah.
booking. I don't want to see Kenny. I don't want to see Kenny in the mid
For
card
sure.
too much. I don't even really want to see Kenny opening things. I want Kenny to be what Kenny should be.
It's a solid rotation that they could go with Moxley, MJF, Kenny Omega. I mean, I guess Brian could have been in there before, but like I feel like they try and push too many of these guys up to the top. That like Hangman Page, like I don't know, like does anybody
Now,
care about Hangman Page at all?
I'm not watching enough.
It seems like
I like what they've kind of done with his character over the past year or so, ever since he interacted with Swerve Strickland. But he went from being like this, like hate the world kind of heel to now he's quickly gone already back to being like a good guy. It just feels sloppy.
it's weird. There's never like a solid creative direction, like we just said. So
That's enough on the AEW.
You know, it's screwed up. Yeah, like
Yeah, you guys love AEW.
The funny part is,
Yeah, love it.
whatever.
You guys
I
secretly
think
love it.
Nick almost fell
Yeah.
asleep as I was.
if you want the
I'm on the
best now.
computer. I'm looking at Nick's eyes, and they were
Oh my
getting
God,
droopy.
this is so much AEW.
Yeah,
Hey, we're gonna have a podcast
yeah.
talking about WWE, and that's 20 minutes of AEW. Hey, we got
yeah. What? We're trying to stay on
episode
target.
zero.
It's
It's
our
not even
first.
our
It's
first
episode
episode.
0.
it.
It's just for fun.
Let's power through the rest of the topics. I mean, if we want to. I don't know. The next thing that they've laid out, and this is not a Mania thing, or it could be, is the KO Sami Zayn stuff. I don't know. They kind of did this already. Is my take? As somebody who wasn't around when they did it. Even I was like, didn't this happen already? Why am I interested to see this again?
Get out of here
see
with
these
this
guys.
take, Nick.
Yeah.
These
always the
guys
same
are
story,
going to be
too.
bound together forever.
Really?
This is what they're friends, they're enemies, they're friends, they're enemies. But we've never had them fight with the caliber I think they're at right now. In that you're seeing pretty much two. KO is a bona fide main event guy. Sami Zayn touches that level sometimes. So to me, this whole story is elevated, and it's happening in Canada. Like that crowd in Toronto is just going to be like so proud of these guys. They're going to be going crazy.
Oh, it's going to be insane. It's going to be.
I was saying more like this match. Obviously, this match coming up is going to be good. And KO's coming off of that crazy ladder match. But does it carry through when they fight again at WrestleMania? That is what I would be like, all right.
What we're thinking is that this continues into WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Because
Well,
if they're going to fight, you would think it's going to have
That's
to
a
be
good
like
point.
a
Like, is
trio
this
of
a
fights, right?
It doesn't seem like this would be a one and done, but it would also seem like you're getting Randy Orton back.
So maybe a 3-way. If we just like make it 3
I mean,
ways.
technically, this is a three-way
match.
right here, is it not?
But
Well, their matches are the
So-
best. So.
Well, I mean, at
I
this
guess
point,
you're right.
they have to do so many of these Saturday night main events. So I don't know what the schedule looks like, but I wouldn't be surprised if KO and Sammy did this and fought about 1 month out from now at a Saturday night main event. I don't know if there's one scheduled for March, but that could be
Good point.
the
Good thought.
blow-off match where Randy returns to set up a KO Randy situation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't seem like you could only get one match out of these two.
See, I feel like KO has somebody to fight at WrestleMania if he doesn't fight Sam,
Yes.
because Orton KO is, I feel like, pretty rock solid.
He
Where
goes
does
with
Sammy go?
Big Jim to the multi-man ladder match.
Yeah, and that's like such. And after
Sammy
his
and Big Jim,
WrestleMania last
Street
year,
Profits.
he's gonna just
Or maybe you put
Be
him
that,
in a triple
like, that
threat
sucks.
match with CM Punk and Logan Paul. because CM Punk's already doing a triple threat match with Cena and Cody. This WrestleMania
Yeah,
is
there you
all
go.
triple threat matches.
And that would be,
all
I'm
of them
sure,
involves CM Punk.
yeah. That's and Sammy already fought what's it, the jackass
Oh,
guy,
yeah,
Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania too. Right? So now he could do Logan Paul just to keep on fighting shitty non-wrestlers.
With the thing they did last year that was so successful with the like night 1 playing into night 2. If they do something like that again, it opens everything up. Because you could just be like, all right, we're gonna make this happen night 1 so we can have this
And
match
then
on night
maybe
2.
that
And
goes back to the idea of Punk, Roman, and Steph.
right,
cool.
right. It
Main
makes,
eventing night 1.
you know, if they try and do something like that again, that's how you could make going backwards the Punk Roman Seth thing into a main
why can't we
event
use
of second
common
night,
sense at this point? Everyone's like,
stipulate.
oh, I main evented WrestleMania. You main eventing night 1 is not main eventing night 2. It's not the same. It's
yeah,
like,
that does
it's
not
not.
count.
Yes, you went on last
No.
on Saturday night, but unless you're going last on Sunday night, you're not the true main event.
How many people main evented Sunday Night Heat before pay-per-views back in the day?
Richards.
Like
Stevie Richards must hold that record. Some right to censor matches. Maybe some.
Him
Maybe
and the
some
Blue
D'Lo.
Meanie. Yeah, there you go. I love D'Lo Brown.
You were a big fan
awesome.
of when D'Lo was tagging with Tiger Ali Singh, right? You like that little window?
Yeah,
That's your favorite D'Lo?
that was. You better recognize.
All
that
right.
was-
I'm ready to talk about probably the most important person that I don't think I have any idea what he's doing at WrestleMania is Drew McIntyre. Who, wait, he's in the chamber. He could win, I guess.
It's possible.
But just the absolute powerhouse of this year, and one of everybody's absolute favorites, I think. But I cannot place him in any of these feuds. He's kind of fighting everybody. He's been fighting.
Yeah,
And that's
he has.
interesting because I think when you get the floating aspect of like when you're talking, if Sami Zayn doesn't have KO, Sami Zayn's free. Drew might be free. Or Drew might be going up against, is it Damian Priest? Is that where they're going? Is it LA Knight? Is it LA Knight?
Oh, man.
right.
Was it Drew and
I
LA?
forgot
Is it
about
Drew?
For some reason, too, I feel like I have Drew and Logan Paul going at it. That's
Serious?
my
Drew and
guess.
Logan? Or are you messing?
Yeah. I'm not
No,
messing with this.
is
Isn't
an
no
honest
Survivor
take
Series.
where you're going Drew and Logan?
This is an honest take. I feel like they've subtly hinted at Drew not liking Logan Paul because he's not a wrestler.
Does that mean
blah,
Drew's
blah,
going
blah.
face in this situation? And if so, is Drew losing the edge?
I don't think so. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that takes away from all the work he's done with the character to just be like some throwaway match with Logan Paul.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like any match that he has right now, unless I don't even know who it could be, they're all like throwaway matches.
He needs to like extinguish the entire bloodline, like
Yeah.
he's on a quest. And that
Do
was
we
the
see-
match that makes sense.
Do we see
Yeah.
that idea of like that
There would have been.
Shield 2.0 coming together with like a Drew and a Seth and I don't know who else, but
Was it KO involved
the
in
only
that?
issue is all three of those guys are like so over. I don't know how they function as a unit, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
who's
could
the
always
leader?
save that idea for episode
Yeah,
one.
well-
They have this is the roster's so stacked. It would be a way to like kind of be like, all right, these guys are a group now, so we don't have to worry about how we're booking them. You could just make them do everything.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. I don't know what like. You really think about it. Who do you think Drew fights at WrestleMania? Like, if you had to pick one person, who do you think it ends
LA
up
Knight. LA Knight.
Because I'm just curious how they get there.
Yeah, if they want to
That's a
give
good
LA
one.
Knight a big
That's a good one.
match, they've been planting seeds. They did this whole weird fake story in the news that he screwed up the Royal Rumble, but now he's just straight up on SmackDown saying the same line that was in that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he got all his stuff off,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're setting it up. I know that they were buddies in TNA and they were like a tag team. So,
Is that true? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I'm
Listen,
pretty sure they
we are
tagged at
not
some
feeding
point.
into this
That's cool.
TNA if you're not giving me 2 more minutes of AEW time. We don't have time for that.
Dude, TNA
It
is
is.
basically WWE now.
Yeah, dude. Okay, since you mentioned that, I saw a clip today of Moose coming out during an
Wait, what
Femi
happened?
promo, and it was hitting.
Was it?
At the vibe? It was.
Was it last
amazing.
night?
Yes,
Oh, I'll have to
on
watch that.
Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it's on
Yeah.
TV. I saw the clip of, Femi's like, nobody can beat me, standing there with the title, or 4 guys beat him up, and he was like, come and fight me. And dude, Moose's music hit. He came out with the title.
That's
He's
awesome.
Some lower title at the moment, and
That
I was like,
that
I want to
is
see this match
great
right now.
right
It was one of those things that was so
I
well
think
done.
that would be great.
That's
That would be
awesome. That would
great
be
meat
cool.
on
Dude, the
meat.
whole thing with TNA is great. It's so good for surprises. Maybe it'll get old, but right now it just seems like whenever they hit that button, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's cool.
Yeah, so we're all a little lost on Drew. It's funny. That's like nobody really knows. But I mean, look, LA Knight had a great match with AJ Styles last year. Maybe he just, I mean,
There's another
here's
guy.
what's going on with Shinsuke,
Yeah. It's a shame because like Shinsuke's new intro is pretty sick.
Right. All
And-
those kind of taped promos and everything
Yeah.
were awesome too, but it just seems like they don't know what to do with him. So it's cool that he's got a title at the moment, but I don't see him holding that title all the way to
I don't
Mania.
think he's had one title like
no,
run
it always
that's
feels
ever
like
been
it
memorable.
feels like he's one of those
He was
like
IC
transitional
champion for a
holders,
while back too.
or like
He's
he holds
always a
the
transition
IC belt,
guy.
but it's not when the IC belt's not getting enough attention. So it's just one of the he's
Right.
one of those placeholders for right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now we have the Chamber coming up, right? I mean, this match is stack, which it usually is, but I don't know. I feel like we've kind of already talked about all of the potential outcomes of where all the people involved go. Are we gonna do this weird underdog thing with Cena where he was like, "Oh man, I screwed up the Rumble. Oh man, I couldn't win Elimination Chamber." I'm okay with that if he then wins Money in the Bank. That would be crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think about what's going to happen with
I
this?
think Cena has to win this one.
Same-
I think
same
Cena
thing at the
has
Rumble,
to
like,
win
you
the
didn't know who was
Chamber.
gonna win.
It's the match. I think right now with The Rock not being in play that people want is to see Cena going for a title. I'm fine if he doesn't win it.
Right. All right. What is the point of this farewell tour if this guy's not going to have a big match at WrestleMania? Right.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, I
mean
think there was
something.
already
You
so
don't
much
need to, like,
backlash
I
when
mean,
people were like hearing
him
that it
get
might
Money in
be.
the Bank, win the title at SummerSlam sounds awesome, but it's not him having a huge match at his last WrestleMania. He is far more in his prime than other people who have done a retirement thing.
So if he does get the match, which I think we're all in agreement he's going to, does he win
No.
to become the 17-time champ?
I'm okay with him not winning as long as he wins the Chamber. As long as he gets the match, you can have him lose and then maybe get it later in the year. But I think the hype would be there. You have your marquee big Hollywood star who's back, who's gonna be on the face of the posters and whatever other.
I think part of your
materials,
story too is as Cena's getting closer to the end. Funny enough, we keep making these jokes about Survivor Series, but he finishes up shortly after that. I think he's probably closing out with the run in Boston for December. But maybe the story that you're going to see with Cena is how desperate he's feeling as he gets closer to the end to get that 17th ring. does he do something uncharacteristic that he's never done before? Like
That would be so
because
awesome.
but
the payoff there is insane.
just like we were talking about Jay, but like almost in Cena goes the opposite way, whereas because he's so limited on time, he loses at Mania, maybe he loses Money in the Bank, like he sees his opportunities dwindling away. How's he going to do it? Like, what's his way of doing it?
The fantasy booking is on par. Is on point.
Him being like, I'm just in this match is planting the seeds of like, maybe the other people start to get mad at him, and then maybe he becomes annoying enough to just be a bad guy for that.
I guess the issue that I think we're going to run into is now it's not 2007, it's not 2012. People are loving Cena right now. It's like this guy's getting his flowers at the moment. It'd be wild if they did it when no one wants to boo him. It's the first time really ever no one's wanting to boo him. Everyone's like, we love Cena right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, anything's possible in
I like it.
The Netflix era.
Where we don't even know what that really means.
This is the Netflix.
The only bad part about that would be there's just not enough. We're definitely in it. We're live on Netflix right now.
And the Netflix has been. They've just done such a good job with it already. Every Raw has been great. It's a small sample size, but it's really good. They're definitely trying to bring people in and give good episodes every week. All right. Last thing we have to talk about is Jacob Fatu.
You know what? I feel like we're in a good spot. Why don't we just move that over the next week?
The Puerto Rico edition.
Week.
Put Jacob Fatu.
I would
start next week with Jacob Fatu.
I want to bring that energy.
Me too, because he's so exciting, and I really love talking to him.
He is a nutbag, and he is amazing to watch.
There's so much I want to say. I feel like we saved that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where we started.
Let's let that be a tease. Okay. That's where we'll start next week. Is just talking about Fatu, people chanting this guy's name and where that was all going to go. This was really good. We zoomed through at least 40, 45
Rob,
minutes.
what's our time? Time guy, what are we at?
It could get better.
Our official timer right now is 52 minutes and 46 seconds.
Perfect. Throw in an ad read, and we've hit the exact mark. And guess what? Every episode is sponsored by Survivor.
We need those Road to Survivor Series shirts. Just pointing all the time at Survivor Series.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, there's just endless roads from now on. It's just Road to Survivor Series. Road to Backlash.
Road to Raw. Road to LFG.
They always got to force. That's how you know that things are going a little too good.
Yeah, they got to force the crappy. Yeah, there always has to be.
And they are like, they're just putting stuff up like, some young gun cut a promo that pissed off
Bubba Ray.
Ooh, I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, come on. All right. They're a little too high of the hog. Trying to be on TV every day. Well, thank you, everyone,
guys,
for joining.
This was awesome.
Good work, gentlemen.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good work, boys and girls.
To all the people that do listen to us, if anybody listens to this, we will get better, and we will continue to hopefully make you laugh and
right here.
This is our best. Wrestling.
This is
it. It's only downhill from here. We're going to go right down the road.
We're going into next week talking about this.
All right.
He's so good. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Take it easy. Everybody.